Morena Tamariki Ma, it's nice to see you today. It's a beautiful day outside, so I hope you're all having an awesome time at home with your mums and dads. This morning I just thought we'd read one of our favourite stories in Rumakiredo. It's called The Dinosaur That Pooped a Planet. Danny and Dinosaur liked to have fun. Some days they had lots, some days they had none. One day they were bored. They had no games to play. Danny said, Dinosaur, what shall we do today? We could mow the lawns, we could tidy the place, we could do our chores, or we could go to space. But you mustn't forget to have lunch, said their mum, because fun is not fun without food in your tum. So they packed a packed lunch for the Science Museum, where rockets were kept if you wanted to see them. I bet you guys are enjoying being at home, checking out all the space rockets that you might see in the sky. There were hundreds of rockets and spaceship surprises, tall ones and small ones of all shapes and sizes, and one that was ready to launch with a door big enough for a boy and his pet dinosaur. They ignored all the warnings. They couldn't care less. They pressed all the things they shouldn't have pressed. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition! They started their intergalactic space mission. They flew higher than houses and buildings and cranes, much higher than birds, even higher than planes. Uh-oh. It's not the right thing to have done. They were in space, Danny yelled as they floated around, but the dinosaur's tum made a rumbling sound. Is it time to have lunch? Danny looked at his watch. Then he looked all around for Dino's lunchbox. Danny started to panic. He started to worry. They'd left the packed lunch back home on their planet. Uh-oh. So with no food on board, not the smallest of crumb, a disastrous dinosaur feast had begun. It gobbled up gadgets and gizmos galore. Nothing was safe from the space dinosaur. Robots and ray guns and blinking red blinkers, eating things up thought of by NASA's great thinkers. The hyperdrive gamma reactor machine was swallowed along with the tractor space beam. Uh-oh, that's one very hungry dinosaur. It chewed and it chomped on the spaceship controls. The rocket was dotted with dino tooth holes. Inside it was bare, the spaceship was empty. Outside there were more things to eat. There were plenty. It broke down the door with a cool ninja chop. Out in space, dinosaurs are much harder to stop. It chomped on the moon like a big chunk of cheese, then shoved even more in its mouth with a squeeze. It munched on the Martians from Mars and their cats. Their cats are like ours, but their cats wear cool hats. Satellites, Saturns and 6 supernovas, shape-shifting saucers and 7 space rovers. It guzzled 5 gallons of fuel from the tank. Then Danny's jaw dropped when he watched what it drank. With a crunch and a crack and a yum 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 and one dino gulp, the rocket was gone. Now there was nothing left. All Danny could see was a fat dinosaur where the rocket should be. And so they were stranded with no way back home. Just Danny and Dino in space all alone. Now Danny was crying. He cried and he cried. He cried and his tears filled up the spacesuit inside. Unless they were going to stay there forever, the dinosaur needed to do something quite clever. With a feeling of guilt deep down in its gut, its brain brewed up a plan involving its butt. It knew there was only one thing it could do. If it wanted to get home, it needed to poo! The troops have come in to listen to our favourite story. Like a pooped-powered rocket, the dinosaur flew. Dan hopped on its back and he watched as it pooed. It pooped out the robots and ray guns and blinkers. The things NASA thinkers thought up were now stinkers. It pooped out the moon, it pooped out the stars. It pooped the space rovers and Martians from Mars.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. When Danny looked back, he could see a poop trail from far out in space to the dinosaur's tail. They headed for Earth and started to orbit. They pooped in the clouds, but the clouds just absorbed it.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Yeah.
They flew past the buildings and streets in their town, leaving their houses all smelly and brown, and finally landed back down on the ground. Hooray, Danny cried, we're home, safe and sound. They looked to the sky and the things that were pooped had formed a poop planet right next to the moon. And so Danny promised to listen to his mummy, because fun is not fun without food in your tummy. And just when you thought all the pooping was done, a Mars cat plopped out of the dinosaur's bum. Now that is one of our favourite stories in Rumakerero, and I hope you enjoyed it too. We're having lots of fun being outside and riding our bikes and making special creations. So I hope that you guys have a great time at home, and we're looking forward to seeing you back when you get to Little Einsteins. So we'll see you later and we'll talk soon. Say bye everybody. Blow them a kiss.